no, here we go. Episode 25.
It's the quarter.
Rain. It's the coda. It's the
It's that
quota.
George Washington.
We on that Washington, and these teeth are real. Um, what is good, everybody? Rangers of the Grid. We back.
We back.
Episode 25, dog. We on that quarter, like you said, which that has a nice ring to it. Every now and then, man, you remember back in the day as a kid when you get popped that quarter.
Well, I like quarters. I love quarters. I
Well,
love
I don't know
quarters.
about I don't really have change like that. But I used to love quarters as a kid, man.
Hey man, it's cool because think about out of all the change you find on the ground, that's the one that actually won. It's the most, but then actually adds up to stuff. But then also it's like you gotta wash your car. You just hide them away. That's car wash money right there, dog. So anyway,
Uh, well, now I just wash at home.
good for you. Good for you.
Got the driveway. But yeah, dog, like episode 25, man, and man, we've gone through 24 episodes,
Yeah.
and man, we got many more to go. And today is special and
Yep.
also exciting because if people don't know, we're trying to keep up with these anniversaries.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk
Action
about the
numbers.
25th anniversary today from Ninja Steel, which I had never watched Ninja Steel. I've seen this episode before,
Mm-hmm.
but like I've never watched the show like the whole time for fun.
Yeah.
And
I haven't either.
really,
No, well, I'll say this. I watched the premiere episode and it was just kind of like, what? That was my reaction. It's like the first few minutes of it.
mm-hmm.
And they lost me at the beginning. So I was like, whatever. Because it's also
Dang it.
it's that Neo Saban era, man. And I tried with that Neo Saban. I would feel them out at first, watch maybe a couple first few episodes, but then after I'm like, nah. And then every now and then I'd catch up with it and see what's going on. Um,
So the only episodes you've watched is the first one and then this one.
no. So I watched part of the first one. I didn't even finish it.
Oh wow.
Only part of the first one. I was like, not really interested. I watched this episode. Actually, because I saw the preview for it. Remember them talking about it. Yeah, this is happening. Because in the preview, there was lots of talk. Yeah, it's the 25th anniversary. They're obviously doing something. And I remember they released the promo of it, and it had the Red Ranger in
Mm-hmm.
a battle scene. So they're like, oh, that must be part of it. So no one knew it was this whole dimensions in danger thing with all the various kind of random rangers in a sense, but we knew something involving Mighty Morphin was happening. So I started paying attention to it closer to that date. So I watched the one right before, and I'm actually really glad I did because it was your run of the mill episode. But then at the end of it, you see these three cloaked figures standing on top of a building after a Megazord battle. And they're like, oh, yep, that's them. We're going to need them. And then you see because they're in the cloak like Andros, the
Mm-hmm.
one he used to wear, except these are all black. But then you see the hand come out, and the hand is red. It's a red glove, and you see the Time Force morpher on there.
Oh, that's sick.
And then that's how I believe this episode starts. It's with the three cloaked figures coming out of their portal, and you find out it's Wes, um,
Mm-hmm.
the Silver Operation, not Operation Overdrive, RPM Ranger, Gemma,
Mm-hmm. And the guy
and
from Dino Charge, right?
yeah, the Blue Ranger, um,
Mm-hmm.
the Caveman.
Yeah.
Um, and then the thing with that is what's interesting about that was because at the time, once Dino Charge ended that season, so I know you haven't watched Dino Charge, and I've seen episodes of it. I haven't seen it consistently. That's probably the one of the Neo Saban era I've actually seen the most episodes of.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it ended, it kind of set this whole thing of wait, how can this be? And then like what does this mean for everything else? Because almost like some time altering stuff in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they said, well, maybe they're all in different like multiverses or whatever. Because I know the comics were talking about that a little bit. Because this is right when we're in the middle of like the Lord Draken saga.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kind of established that. So they're like, well, maybe this is kind of like connecting to that in a sense. Um, and then this sort of then proved that too. Because then it's like, well, wait, how does RPM fit with everything too? Like, is and there's always this theory that RPM was in its own universe. And so yeah, this episode they explain like yeah, there are like three main like or three universes within like the Power Ranger world. There's the main one, and then Dino Charge is its own universe, and RPM is its own universe, which is interesting because Beast Morphers is like a sequel series
Mm-hmm.
to RPM, yet Beast Morphers is like canon to like current stuff. So it's kind of like, wait, what's going on? I don't know how everything fits with stuff. Beast Morphers was
I
a little,
I just thought it was really cool, and I'm gonna give like I guess a
mhm.
synopsis of like what I thought was cool
Yeah,
about this. Um, because we'll go through the episode, right? But overall, what I thought was cool, and like, looking at it now, right, from this standpoint after Once and Always, correct?
yes,
Once and Always, awesome because we had them throughout the whole thing, right?
yeah,
We talked about the 20th. 20th didn't feel like a big anniversary. Remember we talked about that?
mm-hmm.
20th was not as good as it could have been.
No,
I think they got this one right.
oh, yes,
I think they got this one right in many
so
ways.
much better.
I think the main thing they got right was having Tommy
Mm-hmm.
in the entire episode
Yeah,
from start to
he was the
finish.
focus. He was the
Yes.
main. Let's be real. It revolved around him.
And I
They
think that's
kidnapped him.
why it stood out.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's why it stood out. Um, like to have it beginning and end, right? Like a storybook,
Mm-hmm.
I think was very smart, especially man, since and I say it because man, we watched that 20th and I think they realized it, right? Like, okay, we're having him in this. And they had others in there too.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's other people in there for sure. But they were smart on who they made like the whole like the thing about mostly,
Mm-hmm.
which I really liked. Who we know Tommy obviously. Who was one surprise that you were excited to see?
Um, Trent from Dino Thunder.
Yeah,
He
you
popped
you
up, and I
love
was
him some
just like,
Trent.
it's cool because that was such like a, it felt like a random one, you know.
Mhm.
Rocky was back as a Red Ranger,
Yep.
which was cool. Kat was back, and I thought this was a great way of like bringing her in, and because like her and Tommy are married now. And by the
Hmm.
way, if you want to see how that happened, that new 30th anniversary Ranger comic from Power Rangers Universe,
Hmm.
it explains how they got together.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
and I believe Amy Jo Johnson actually like co-wrote it.
Wow.
She had some involvement with it.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, so like they're together. You find out they have the son JJ, which this was also coming right after Soul of the Dragon came out, which was like the Old Man Tommy graphic novel.
Hmm.
Um, but it was cool seeing Trent, although like I felt like it's just one of those things when you have so many people, you can't really get they have their moment, but not like their full blown moment. So it's like we weren't getting full white Dino Thunder Ranger like we could have. But
Hmm.
you had Rocky was back, Cat was back. Of course, like I always say, you have the big three that always come back: Tommy, Wes, and
Hmm.
TJ.
Yep. There you go. That's the three, right?
And I even think was Cassie in it? Was she
Uh,
back?
I didn't.
I I know she was in the 20th one, but I
No,
can't remember.
from In Space. No, I think it was just TJ.
Okay.
It was just
Yeah.
TJ. Cause yeah, you had Tommy, obviously, Rocky, Cat, TJ, Wes,
Yeah.
Trent, Gemma, that Gold Ranger.
Yeah, from Samurai.
Yes, and then the Megaforce yellow girl,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then the blue Dino Charge guy.
Yeah. All right. I thought they were I thought she was in it for some reason.
That'd been cool.
Yeah.
She's kind of has her own thing going on though outside of like this though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's always that like I think the reason I thought she was back was because obviously she came back with like TJ in the 20th. But there's
Mm-hmm.
also that thing of like I think TJ, Selwyn Ward is trying to make it canon, like their two characters are together. Like they end up together. And he just put brother putting that out there.
What's up,
Which would
girl?
make sense because they started together. So
For sure.
but yeah, no, this was what's so great about this episode, and I think people realized how good it was that and how much not just good, but how much more of an improvement it was from Legendary Battle that we wanted it to be like an hour-long episode, because I feel
Okay.
like that was like I think the one kind of major critique, the biggest shared one that people had was like this should have been longer because it was good. It was good,
For sure.
but and then my
Yeah,
only
you're right.
real gripe with it was that like that final morphing sequence,
Mm-hmm.
like when they're all morphing, you think like, oh, are they going to do a thing like Forever Red where they just replay the old like morphing sequence where they don't even look like that, like when Tommy morphed as Zeo Ranger 5. And obviously, in
Yeah.
Forever Red, he has a spiky hair, but now all of a sudden in a morphing sequence, he's got his long hair. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, are they going to do that, or are they going to do some new like updated ones, which would have been cool?
But he
No,
also got to be what I why I really like it too is just the actor in general, like we said, was all over it. He had to be an evil version.
yeah,
Like he got to play quite a bit, like in the show, this episode.
yeah,
Like it almost wasn't a Ninja Steel episode.
it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was definitely a. This is a and now looking back when you knowing that Jason David Frank is no longer with us, but then seeing him with the introduction of this thing in live action, the Master Morpher, um, and then him going through all of his suits except for Turbo. This
Mm-hmm.
was really like he got to play greatest hits.
What do you think about
So,
that?
huh?
What do you think about that?
I think it's great. And looking back now too, on now that that was the last time we saw him as a ranger, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to sort of like cap off because let's be real, it's hard to detach Jason David Frank, the character of Tommy, from Power Rangers.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. Like looking back, knowing what we especially know what we know now,
Mhm.
that is the best send off for
It
him.
really is.
Like he like Marcus, think like we said on the 20th, like how excited I got when I saw him pop up helping that
Mhm.
kid out of the car. This episode, it was like they were giving back to him.
Yeah,
And I bet you him himself liked it so much that that's why he got upset that they didn't want to do more.
yeah, with
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. No, I
You
get
know
that.
that and that's probably why he went Legend of White Dragon, kind of got soured on the brand,
Hmm.
right? Because this is after the movie?
Yes. So
Okay.
we literally had, I think, Ninja Steel season one, then movie, then the Super Ninja Steel, or Ninja Super, whatever, however, wherever they put the super in with the title.
Mm-hmm.
So it was literally, yeah, like we had Legendary Battle in 2013. Then all like his like resurgence, and let's be real, the resurgence of the brand. Like, he was
Mm-hmm.
getting way like, let's be real, his popularity has always been huge, but it skyrocketed after that 20th.
Oh my God, yeah. Like Marcus, the sell for that episode is him in the
Mm-hmm.
suit walking.
Up front,
Like
leading everyone.
bro, I remember like we talked about our love for Rangers, so we liked it. But I remember even at that time we were both like, how sick is that?
Yeah,
It was just cool. Like,
yeah,
and I wasn't watching whatsoever at the time.
no. And so, because so like from this time, you literally have like that happening in 2013. Well, actually 2014. Then I got to meet him at the SAC WonderCon literally the next year in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
The movie comes out 2 years later where he's popped up in that. And remember during this time he had his little like vlog, that little my morphin life and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he was doing all that, the
Which I used
20th
to watch.
anniversary special, the cameo appearance in the movie. And what's funny, I think the most interesting thing about that movie, or looking back, it wasn't so much of the, oh, they're doing this movie and like everyone wanted to know, okay, is Tommy going to be in it? Like the
Mm-hmm.
character. It wasn't necessarily like, ooh, because of course everyone talked, ooh, are we going to get cameos from other Rangers and all that? That was always
Mm-hmm.
in the back of people's minds, but it was also, but the main thing up front was like, is Tommy going to be in this? Is he going to be a part of it? Not Jason David Frank, but just the character. And then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, as we all know now, that was the hook, the post credit scene.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that was the only reason to watch it. For me, it was. I don't know.
yeah. So
And I
then
really like the movie too. Like I like the
it's a
movie a
great
ton,
movie.
but it's just him. Like we're gonna talk about that movie one of these
We
days.
will. We will.
That's gonna be
And
a fun one because gets a lot of hate.
but I think now it's getting more and more love. Like people are like appreciating it now more. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah,
But so
that's gonna
now
be a fun one.
here we are for the 25th anniversary special. And not only is this like a perfect like celebrating 25 years of Rangers, there's also like celebrating 25 years of Tommy.
Yeah, and that's what
He
this
has
episode
that
really
fight
felt
with
like,
himself.
which was cool.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's like the evil android version of just like of Dino Thunder Black, but he's literally going through like all of them. He's doing the
Hmm.
showcase. So,
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was so cool. Like, just how they got down, man.
mhm.
You know, and it makes sense how it works out, right? Like how he fights him
Yeah,
with all his suits, how he gets into the suits each one at a time.
yeah. That was
Let's talk
really
about that real quick. The fact that he had this morpher, which blew my mind, by the way, at the time.
yeah.
Like, weren't you surprised by that?
Well, no, because I had read Soul of the Dragon, and Soul of the Dragon came out first. So in
Okay.
Soul of the Dragon, he had it in there. So in my mind, when he had it, I'm like, oh, okay. This was a kind of like tie-in. But then also, I was honestly back then, I was thinking, I'm like, I wonder how long till they come out with it, till they make this, you know?
Hmm.
Like, I was like, they got to put that out eventually. It's going to be made. Um, but no, it was great.
Like,
Yeah,
what do you
so,
think about and I know we're skipping around in the episode,
yeah,
but I feel like this is important. Uh he hits almost all the suits. Not
yeah,
them all, but he doesn't hit Turbo. Uh
yeah.
not surprised.
We don't
No
talk about
no
Turbo, except chat
I
with Turbo.
yeah, I know. Like, all
Very
right.
interesting
And
choice.
TJ's there, so whatever.
But he's
Uh
space.
Never read. I know he was in Forever Red, but in reality he's never read, I guess. Um
He a crap dog.
what if he said that? What if like on set he said that like no one even knew? Don't y'all know? And because he's always smiling, he's grinning. Um right? He grinning. So what if he just busted out and was like, you all know I'm a Crip, right? What? South
Yee,
34th Street, Crenshaw. It's like,
dude. Oh, okay.
oh,
Sorry, sir.
sorry, sir. Um, do you see him, sir? Do you see him?
Yeet.
uh, but yeah, like that him going in all of them, and I know I'm skipping ahead, but I just thought it was interesting because it's a good talking point. Is the White Ranger suit is the last?
Was it the last one? I thought he ended with
Didn't
the
he get it?
green. No, he
But
ends with green because he goes
okay,
back.
oh yeah, he goes back, but he
Because it's
uses
like,
the white with the
you know,
Falcon Zord.
at the very end, yeah, he goes,
Yes, yeah, he gets that Falcon Zord.
yeah.
Is
Dude,
that
I'm not,
telling?
huh?
Is that telling, or does that make sense?
No, it's very telling.
Yeah,
It was just funny to me that like I kind of find, but I found it funny. But then I'm like, oh, this is Rangers, because homie morphs in green has the does the final battle in as a Green Ranger.
yeah, which I thought was perfect,
Because
right?
like we said, like everyone knows, even like the green one, that's the most popular.
Uh huh.
It's the most popular one. But
Even which is crazy if you think about it. Like we talked about his feud with Hitman Jason before, because Green was designed as a secondary,
yeah,
and White had movies,
mm-hmm,
right? Multiple different Zords,
mm-hmm,
ninja
mm-hmm.
suit, and was bestowed leader.
Dude, imagine if he busted out in an ninja suit in this. That would have been pretty
That'd
cool.
been cool. That'd been cool.
That would have been like the oh shoot, we going here with that. That would have been pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny, even though like I feel like with them ending it with white, that kind of goes back to the like, yeah, green's the most popular, but remember, white was supposed to be like that's the be all
Ultimate.
end all ranger, you know.
And I still like how they have that. I guess you'd say, like, he shows up to all these things in green, right? In 20th in
Mhm.
green, but it makes so much sense because in fans' minds, we've been taught White Ranger's the leader.
Yeah,
Like White Ranger's the guy, bro. I say it all the time. They had old boy coming in like Jesus.
yeah, yeah. And it's
Whether you
like
believe or not, it's all good. Whatever. That's cool. I'm just saying they
he
had him
came
coming in
in
like he's
down
a
like
second coming.
because it was the second coming to Tommy Oliver.
Yeah, yeah. It was a second coming of Tommy Oliver.
And good Tommy Oliver, because if you want to count like, oh, well, what about when he showed up when they took the parents? Nah, that was Green Ranger. This was good Tommy. That was good Tommy the first time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he repented of his sins,
He
but
repented of his sins. Bro, it's
but
a
no,
trip though. When you watch this episode,
yeah,
it's like it should have been one of those like clothing collabs where it's like Mighty Morphin meets Ninja Steel.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? In a way, even
yeah.
though it's all under the Power Rangers banner, it's Power Rangers, right? But it should have just been
Because of
called like not even Ninja Steel. It should have just called Power Rangers 25th anniversary. No, nothing.
yeah, or just Power Rangers Dimensions in Danger.
Yes,
They
because
could have just
like
called it that, and that would have worked perfectly.
because this was
But
the episode felt like not a Ninja Steel one, right? Like
well, because obviously, and let's be real, this was a 22, 23, 24 minute like attempt at recreating the Shattered Grid saga.
mhm.
Because it's like, ooh, because who's the villain in Shattered Grid? Lord Draken. Who's the villain of this? Lord Draven. Like, and remember they kept saying, ooh, the dimensions, they're shattering. It's almost shattered. Like, it's like, we get it. You're trying to do this. But yeah, dude, I think the one thing, seeing like
Lord
the Falcon
Draven,
Zord,
yeah,
yeah,
like I remember,
seeing the
yeah,
Falcon
yeah,
Zord come up and like grab that arrow and throw it up, which to me was kind of like, because I'm like, wait, if he's that big and that arrow is that big, it should have already been there, like
yeah.
it's like I said, the whole thing is like Tommy's like, I know, I got a solution to this. Let me morph first. Like
It's like,
He
who,
just like
wait,
like
hold on. You can't just morph first all the time.
no, but I'm wondering, I'm like, did he have to be the white suit to summon the Falcon Zord?
I don't
And how
know.
sick would
Yeah.
it have been? And because I can't remember, once they went back in season three, did his coin switch from the moon? Like, did he keep the Falcon coin, like the Falcon Zord coin
No
in the show?
one knows. No
I
one
can't remember if
knows.
he did or not. I gotta look this up.
What would he
But
keep it for if they didn't have the powers anymore?
yeah, but I'm
It's just
just
like
wondering.
Adam keeping his morpher randomly, but hey, he kept his morpher randomly, but became Zeo and then Turbo. But hey, out of nowhere and in space, of all the ones he wants to use again, he wants to use the broken down black one, even though, man, we didn't realize Zeo's was just gone.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess yeah, he just kept the white tiger coin in um season three.
Isn't that funny?
But I was just hoping, and I think a lot of people, because I get it, Falcon Zord's cool because it's just cool, you know. I think the thing
Mm-hmm.
that sold it was one, it could fly. Flying Zords are always dope. The rocket,
Always.
but then I think
Mm-hmm.
the thing that sold it and put it over the most was that scene from the movie when it like went on the train track, and
Oh yes,
that was
yes. The
always like the
arm, the
coolest part.
the wings out.
Yeah. Plus, I
Yes,
mean,
the
yeah, it's Tommy's Zord too. I get, but it's like I was kind of hoping if any of the Zords we get like a reference to that, there is no like, wait, I thought it was destroyed or not. Like Dragon Zord is still around, dude. Dragon
yeah, I
Zord
know.
is just chilling in Angel Grove, dude. Just underwater, just hanging out. He just chilling, dog.
And ain't nobody gave a shit about him, huh?
I do. I love the dragons,
How they
but
gonna do how they gonna do my man's like that?
right, he just waiting. He's like, oh, I get to come out yet? No. Oh, Falcon Zord, good for you, Falcon Zord. Hey, but
Oh,
he got that. He got
y'all
that.
really gonna do me like that, huh?
He did get that kind of comeback, I guess, for the Super Sentai series where they fused him with the Q Rex. But
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
yeah, but still, it's not like that Super Sentai. It's like where he at in the World of Rangers, because that's one Zord that is technically still around. So I've always thought it'd be interesting if they brought that back, even in like Dino Thunder. I semi expected him to show up in Dino Thunder, but anyway, that's just me hoping. But no, man, it was Dimensions in Danger was a great episode.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, and
Um,
knowing that that's like I said, the last time we saw Jason David Frank suit up, it was a hell
that's
of
what
an
kind of
episode.
got me. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
And like looking back at that now, because at the time we didn't know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like that was what almost 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, man, it was that was a that's a great way to celebrate this person. Not only celebrate the franchise, but let's be real, the face of the franchise.
Oh yeah, he's the guy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and you're right. Like that episode, I think that's how honestly that sums up the 25th episode perfectly. Like we celebrated him
Yeah.
and how amazing he is,
Hmm.
which me just thinking more about it, like it makes so much sense why he would assume more's to come.
Yeah.
I kind of get it now
Hmm.
when I think about it
Well,
more.
yeah, I mean, who is it? I think that the yellow Megaforce Ranger Gia, she said it. Like, yeah, we got the call from Tommy. Like, we wouldn't expect anything up with that. Like, dude, he calls, you answer.
Yeah.
That's basically how they put it. Hey, Tommy called us, so we here.
Yeah. No,
And
yeah.
and it's one of those things too. Just looking at it now, and I know it's like a hindsight's 2020 type, like what if type thing. Watching Cosmic Fury, I can't help but think I'm like, yeah, I know Billy's back. Billy's riding, riding that wave, getting his shine, getting his respect. But I'm like, dang, imagine if Tommy was there.
Yeah, you're right. I think it would have been really cool. Yeah. If in like we if he wanted to, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, we know like he had the falling out with the franchise. Life happens. He's no longer with us. But I feel like, and I'm jumping ahead to
No, it's
like
okay.
because I'm jumping ahead to like the end of Cosmic Fury. I'm just saying it just felt weird, and this is why I say like I don't. Obviously, this isn't the like I told you. I don't feel like it's the end. I know it's called the final episode's called the end, but it just doesn't feel right that this is ending with no Tommy. Not even like a like an in suit thing, you know?
Hmm.
Like the whole like once and always thing. I get it. He wasn't there, but they had him in the suit the whole time. Well, that was the same thing happened with the Dino Thunder crossover with SPD because they had the two episodes. There was the first one with just the three, but then the
Hmm.
one where the whole team gets together. That episode, Wormhole, like he wasn't there. It was just an actor in the suit. And Trent, the actor that did Trent, he actually did his voice, which
Really?
I thought was interesting. Yeah. So, but it's just one of those things. Like it just seems it doesn't feel right in a sense. It's like that one thing that's always missing.
I
So
think though too, like it's just kind of how it works out, right?
it is.
Like looking back, I don't think we could have asked for a better ending for him.
Yeah. Like that's what we were given, not knowing
But
that.
also think of this too. He's already done the role Billy did for Cosmic Fury.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah, he's already done that. And I don't think, truth be told, I don't think he wanted that. Once he
No, it's
got the taste of that 25th again,
yeah,
and he saw like the what was coming with Draken, remember that commercial? Like all of that, you said Soul of the Dragon, all this stuff. Like, truth be told, all metrics that were coming in based off views, likes, clicks on anything he was doing at the time, I don't blame him for trying to like get into it because there's so much meat on the bone that like he's
yes.
seeing all this in front of him and thinking to himself, like, no offense to these youngsters that are playing in the role right now. I'm the
No,
hottest thing of
it
Rangers.
he is.
I'm the,
It is. 100%.
so I don't
100%.
blame him whatsoever. Looking back now, honestly, it would have been smart of them to do for the first time ever some kind of, even if it is a mini series, and then the next season springboard off him.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Jonathan Entwistle, the guy who's developing the reboot
Mhm.
on what would have been his 50th birthday, he put out there like, man, you know what an iconic character. He's like, he's like, I'm honestly upset he's not gonna be able to see how much of a pivotal role uh the character of Tommy Oliver is going to play in this new universe.
Oh yeah.
Because I know everyone's talking like, oh, they're gonna reset stuff and all that. That just kind of told you it might be different, but there's still gonna be a lot the same of stuff that we know. Because if Tommy's involved, like the character, that should tell you something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's like letting you know like they can't do this without him in a sense.
No, and you know what, Marcus? I think you're right. Like, that's hard, bro.
It is.
He's a character that we can't forget. We
No,
never we can't. Like
everyone
I
always remember like those Mighty Morphin ones. Everyone's gonna always remember Mighty Morphin. But
oh
let's be
yeah.
there's three you're always gonna remember:
Mm-hmm.
Jason, Kimberly, Tommy.
And like how are we not gonna remember it, right? Like it's just like, man, they're iconic.
Yeah,
We have iconic characters in Rangers, and it sucks that one of them's super gone.
yeah,
Like like even Trini would be huge now.
yeah,
She died way before the wave was ever even considered being big.
yeah.
you know. Um, yeah, 25th, they nailed it.
They
Ninja
did.
Steel nailed it. And kudos to them. Because of them, they got this awesome Master Morpher. You have it right there.
Yep.
Let's see. I have a my display is growing
Ooh.
of everything. I'll have to do a cool video on it. More stuff's growing. Um, yeah, I'm starting to get a lot of stuff up.
Hmm.
I got a package in today, but it has nothing to do with Rangers, but it was pretty cool. Hey man, I've been waiting for these for like a year.
Oh.
Zombie Sailor does figures. Here, I'll show one. Um, this isn't what like we're really talk about on these podcasts, but it's whatever.
Yeah. It's our show. We can do what we want.
Pretty much, right? That's how I feel about it. I do what I want. Yeah, it's my party.
Whatever, whatever. I do what I want. Whatever, whatever.
Oh, this one's a cool one. I open them up, so like they'll end up being open, but like this one's pretty cool. King Kong Bundy.
Oh dang.
I collect a lot of little ones, but like he's the one that does these, right? Yeah, he does like a really good job. Like they're very similar to like the ones from back in the day.
Yeah.
They're made just like I mean, I have like deep tall cabinets to my left, full of them. Probably need to buy another one now because with so many of these I get,
Oh, going to IKEA.
eventually I'm gonna have to for sure. Um, yeah, because like I didn't even wasn't able to put all of them up, but maybe I don't know. I have another idea, so I don't have to buy another cabinet just for those because like I want to get one for back there for more Ranger stuff. And then
Hmm.
to my right, I want to have something like that, a little maybe even a smaller shelf for some miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
What I call miscellaneous. Um, you know, we'll see. But yeah, that was a sick one. And let's talk about the second half to our show today. The second half to our show today is Marcus already talked about some of the
Hmm.
show in general. Cosmic Fury episodes 3 and 4. And I've finished it. I know you finished it like right away.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, so
man,
yeah,
Marcus.
you finish it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, finished it. Great season. I'm just gonna say that just because
Yeah.
I'm like thinking of it. Amazing season. But let's talk about episode 3 off the grid. Off grid. Excuse me. Random off grid
Yeah.
instead of off the grid because we are Rangers.
The grid.
Mm-hmm. And
And what's
I.
funny, sorry,
Go
but
ahead.
like I just
No, go
feel like
ahead.
this is the English major in me. This,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the double entendre here in
Mm-hmm.
this like title, it's literally off grid because one, they don't have their powers, so they are off the morphing grid.
That's
But then
true.
also they're like off grid on this deserted planet. I'm like, that's such a good play on like the English major in me. I'm like, oh, that's so smart. So smart.
um. So what I liked right away on the episode is we got what I would deem some character development in a way
Hmm.
of Javi still getting used to the arm,
Yeah.
which to me was really smart to do because that gives us like a sense of humanism right amongst the
Yes.
ranger. You know, he's like trying to figure out like, man, he's a freaking Power Ranger and he's still struggling with this.
Hmm.
You know, I thought that was really cool. What'd you think of Billy giving us like a little flashback what they went through?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because him talk about like, oh, and then I was a wolf ninja.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I felt that them kind of mentioning that, like, I really want to talk to Simon Bennett on this and see and like talk about all this like little like Easter eggs and stuff because with this episode, at least this kind of section of the season,
Mm-hmm.
this reminded me so much of the movie, a 1995 movie. Because
Yeah.
like they're stranded, deserted planet, they don't have their powers, they have to kind of like, rely on their own stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it very much felt like that 95 movie when they had to go to Planet Phaedos.
Mm-hmm.
I kept getting these, like it felt like that, you know, but
Oh,
like
for
in a
sure.
redone way. And I know that that's something I told you about Dino Fury. Like when you go back and watch um the entire the series or the season, well, I guess series in its entirety,
No,
it
you're right.
feels the most like having the spirit of Mighty Morphin. Because I know a lot of seasons will try to like recapture it, like, ooh, they're teenage, like Megaforce did a lot, like they're teenagers in high school. Oh, and they go to this like frozen yogurt spot run by a guy named Ernie. Like, we're going to Ernie's and all, you know. We got a face on the wall and a little robot sidekick. Like, I get it. A lot of seasons try to recapture that magic and that feel, but this series as a whole captures like Mighty Morphin. Like, it feels like the most spiritual successor to it. And
No,
so,
yeah, like when you told me that, I was like, truth be told, I was kind of like, okay, Marcus, relax, bro. Like, I was because I'm like, all
yeah.
right, dog, like, relax. Like, I get it. It's good. You like it. Okay. But like, bro, I've heard oh man, it's like Mighty Morphin. I've heard that stuff
Hmm.
before, and not to sound like rude or anything, but I was kind of like, whatever, bro. Like, you're tripping. Like, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
But you weren't kidding, man. It was more than I thought. Like I was just taken aback a bit
Hmm.
at how much it was similar to Mighty Morphin. And I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. Mainly because too, like each character, and like, I know we're only talking about 3 and 4, but
Hmm.
by the fourth one, I will say we had a little bit more character development from everyone.
Yes.
And right away I was like, all right, man, like I'm pretty into this. More than I
Hmm.
thought, by the way, too. Um, because I was gonna be like, honestly, like, you know, the ones that everyone tells me like are what cool, okay, but you liked it and you haven't been wrong yet. Like, I still don't think you're probably wrong about RPM. I just do need to give it a
You
chance.
just, it's such a slow burn. I know I keep saying that, but it is. It's a very slow burn.
Yeah, and see you telling me that,
Hmm.
like, you don't lie, bro, like about it. So like you're right, it probably is. So like I'm still gonna have to go back and watch that,
Hmm.
but this episode specifically, don't they get their morphers? This was the episode they get their
Yes.
morphers too, right? The third
Yeah,
one.
at the very end of the episode.
What'd
So,
you think? What'd you think about Amelia
dude,
having
this
a
is,
hard time with the red?
I liked it.
I
I
liked it. I
really
thought it
did.
was a really good character trait of hers for like to be humble like that.
Yeah, because it's such a, I felt like she's the best character, like of the entire
The whole
season,
thing. Yeah, to
of the
me
whole
too. I
thing.
thought the same
She's
thing too. I just didn't want to like
she's great.
harp
Like
on it so much.
her, like, and I like, because I know people are like, oh well, they write it. She's just delivering lines, but it comes across real. You know, it's like
Uh-huh.
she's, because yeah, you can have good writing, but if the delivery sucks, it's not going to come
Uh-huh.
across.
Uh-huh.
Like this
No.
translate like when I'm watching this and she's telling them, all right, guys, let's do this, let's do that. We gotta do this. I feel I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're pumping me up. I think y'all gonna make it, you know. Even though let's be real,
Mhm.
it's Rangers, it's always gonna end happy, you know. She
Mhm.
makes you feel like, yeah. And like they told her too, like her team told her, like, look, you've been dealing with us and like making us feel good about and dealing with our crisis stuff when you have your own. Like,
Yeah,
and that's I
bro.
think the thing we all kind of forgot. Like, bro, she literally just got found out her parents were alive and they were the villains they were fighting, and now they're back, and she finds out she's actually alien, and just it's like she has all this stuff going on, but she's putting that aside to look out for the team.
Mhm.
That's real leadership stuff right there. And then her freaking out, like, no, I can't take this from Zato. He's our leader, and they're like, nah, girl, it's you. Like that
Oh
was
no, I completely agree with you. Like, I thought it was awesome. I thought it. was like so endearing.
Yes.
Like it made her really endearing to me as a character, bro, to where I was like, all right, man, like this chick is one that deserves the mantle, I would say. But like,
Yes.
okay, let's follow through with this girl because she's a Red Ranger, bro. Like, and she was, beforehand, right? Like I said, towards the end of Dino Fury, you could tell.
Yeah. And
But
I'll
now I
say
was like,
this.
this is it. Like this, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, this chick, man, like she's on it, you
Yeah.
know?
I noticed this going back and like rewatching these episodes again.
Mhm.
This is another English major thing, but now visual. Like on her shirt, she's literally wearing like because she had like the pink leather jacket and she had the pink top. Dude, underneath it was a red top. So it was like
Oh.
creepy, and you could see a little bit of it. So that was like a little foreshadowing right there. It's like, yeah, she's pink, but eventually it's red. Like on
Mm-hmm.
the outside, pink, but inside, she's the Red Ranger. Like she's that leader. And then
Yeah.
what
That's
I
you're
noticed
right.
was in
You're right.
like
That's a good
later
one.
in episode 4, when she's fully now the Red Ranger, she's wearing that like red top. It's the same
Mm-hmm.
one, but that pink one's gone. So I thought, I'm like, that's smart.
No, you're right,
She
Marcus.
still
Like that's a good
wore,
one.
it's funny, but in the beginning of the episode, she still has her pink leather jacket, which in,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, later episodes, she has the red one. But it wasn't until after Zato, because as we know, Zato comes back. They finally get Zato back,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "No, you deserve it." Like, you know, I was like, "I've been gone." I was like, "I died. I got sent to another planet. All this stuff. Like, y'all had to
I
come and find
died.
me." Like,
I died.
he's like, "I died." He's like, "Dude, this, bro, dude, Zato's kind of like Kenny, bro. He died. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
like that was
And
an
he gets sent
interesting one with
away,
him.
and then he's back."
Yeah, that was
Hmm.
he. You know what though? I love the character of him, right?
Hmm.
His character I think is awesome. They've like I think they did a really good job of making people endearing, honestly.
Yeah,
Like, and I've used that word a second time, but I just think they have. I was like, man, like some of this stuff was pretty smart, dude.
yeah,
Like on how they do it. I was like, okay, like good for you guys, man. Like you're figuring out like how are we gonna get people to care about this person?
yeah,
Like why should they?
yeah.
Right?
And
Like
I
really,
think,
why should they?
it's really cool too because, like I said, last on our last episode, I see this season 3 Cosmic Fury. This is just like the third act. This is an extended season finale episode arc.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and normally when you get to stuff like this and a lot of season finales of shows where you have multiple, like you have like the 22 episode like format, you get all your character development and your character growth throughout that season. So when it comes time for the finale, you can just have all the action, have all the stuff. And it's very easy, especially in this for this show, having or this season only doing 10 episodes, no filler stuff, and then it could have just been pure action. But they're still like, hey, you've seen these characters grow from where they were in season 1 to season 2. Well, guess what? Now we're going to take them to a whole other like growth right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like them doing that while still giving us the action too, incredible. Because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of shows, a ton of shows, way bigger budgets, way better, like higher reviewed stuff won't even do that.
No. And I still think smart move by them to give us all that action early.
Yeah.
Like you said it the last time, but man, Marcus, when you go into the first episode, bro, and they come out swinging,
Ew.
like they do, man. They come out swinging, and brother, it's on like Donkey Kong. Like it's just like, dang, dude, like these guys are not playing around,
No?
right? Like they ain't playing around. And man, they just they gave us everything we wanted right away.
Mm-hmm.
And for these two episodes, though, like they were great builders, right?
Yeah.
Because uh, at the ending of the third one, right, we got the Rangers and they got the Zords, right?
Yes.
Uh, Shout outs to them for being able to control the Zords when it's just the four of them.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work like that back in the day much, right?
No. No.
But it's okay that it did now. It's all good.
Yeah. It's fine.
Um,
Well, because and I think they got away with that because Billy even says, "Oh, like sentient Zords."
yes. Okay,
He's
yes,
like, "I
yes.
like my Zords that are sentient." So basically, meaning like they have their own like thoughts and their own,
Yeah, I know
they
they
don't
make them.
need the Rangers to pilot them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I thought it was cool too. I was like, yeah, yeah, okay, I
They're
get
covering their
it.
bases of explanations.
For sure. I was like, oh, okay, I understand what you mean. Um, I like that. I also thought it was kind of cool how like there's multiple things going on in this show at
Hmm.
once.
Yes.
Like there's not just a single focus. I would say I think there's like multiple things like where we have to wonder about Zato,
Hmm.
Ollie, right? We're wondering about Ollie. We just got our own powers.
Hmm.
So like excuse me. Like there's just so much going on that it's like, okay, like what are we doing next? You
Well,
know?
and then it's like, plus they're 30 million light years or 300 million light years away from Earth.
Yeah,
However far they
and that's
like,
wild too, by the
Earth
way.
is literally conquered. Zed conquered Earth.
Dude, how man, Marcus, like for
Like
real, that got me a little bit. I was
the
like, whoa.
fact that they were like, yeah, other Ranger teams have attempted and they've all been captured.
Yeah.
There's something block, and there's a system here blocking any Zords. And then
Yeah,
you
like
got,
what'd you think of that?
Kamala Harris giving the the State of the Union address from Gray Battle Force.
Yeah.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, back to our earlier thing, I'm like, wait, if uh Beast Morphers is a sequel series to RPM, but it's in its own universe, how is this all, how they connect? What's going on? But
Hmm.
um, yeah, dude, I thought it was cool, you know, but it really amped up the stakes for this team. That it's like y'all got to figure this stuff out now.
No, yeah, like they didn't have time.
Mm.
And I actually like that. I thought it was good that they didn't have the time they had to get to work,
Hmm.
right? Um, and they had to get on it like ASAP.
Yeah. Well, that's also like, I guess, could be also seen as like a metaphor of this season as a whole. It's like, hey, if we're only doing 10 episodes, we ain't got time to do all this other stuff. Like, we got to get
Yeah,
now.
like what is his name? Simon Bennett.
Yeah.
He wasn't kidding either when he said like there will be some character stuff like you'd be surprised. I was surprised.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at a lot of stuff that they pulled off. And
Yeah,
even
me
more
too.
surprised when I go back and then catch other things now.
Hmm. Yeah, me too. I'm just like I'm a little taken aback. Like there's more character stuff in this than like a lot of the other seasons. I'll just say
Yeah.
that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I like it. I had a great time watching these episodes. I can't wait, and it's gonna be a few weeks from now, but we're gonna talk about the whole thing, like as a whole,
Hmm.
like and what we think going forward. And I'm excited about that one because man, Marcus, I really dug this. Like I really dug it. It was very fun for me personally just to watch.
What'd you think of Ollie suit? That dark
The
blue
evil one
and
they gave him,
yeah.
I thought it was really cool. If you notice at the speaking ahead, Zed's suit at the end had some similarities.
Hmm.
The shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. Like, it made a ton of sense to be like, for an evil ranger to look
Yeah.
like that. right?
Yeah, no, I
Um,
had heard something that I guess before, because at first the Rangers all thought they were done. Like at the end of season two, they didn't know they were coming back for Cosmic Fury, and I
mhm.
guess the reason why Ollie was going to be evil in all this was because allegedly the actor hadn't signed on to come back yet.
Oh, that guy didn't.
Yeah, so they were just going to keep him as an evil Blue Ranger in this evil suit and just have him and just do like a voice dub type thing.
Wow,
So he was like the last one to sign. So then they're like, oh, okay, well, we're still going to keep him evil, but
I didn't know that.
yeah, no, that's I'd heard that, and so that's why that suit was so, besides
Wow,
him
dude.
just being like a regular, just in his regular Dino Fury suit, him having like a making it look more like a general,
No, for sure.
on the villain stuff. But then and then Zato comes back,
Yeah, then Zato comes back.
Zenith Ranger.
And I like sorry. It was almost like a throwback to like other seasons where everybody's going for the quantum morpher, right? Like everyone's going
Hmm.
for they want to go back and get him, and Ollie and the bad guys, I guess you'd say, were smart in the fact that they're like it made Zato seem even more like his lore was already huge, right? Because he
Hmm.
sacrificed himself and he basically won it for them in Dino Fury, right? He really
Yeah,
did. But it was like huge that like they were like, we can't let him come back and join the team.
yeah.
Like we can't. So I thought that was a cool like, point of that episode, right? The point of that episode was that, we have to get Zato. And man, Marcus, he was cool, dog. He looked really cool.
So here's the thing I wanted to talk about with this. So I don't know if you saw this, but it came out that because remember at the end of Dino Fury, he came back in that white suit, the white and the
Mm,
inverted red.
okay.
But then now in here, he's got that like champagne golden color, and they're calling him Zenith Ranger.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you saw this, but it came out that they originally did intend for him just to be the White Ranger. He was going to be white,
Oh,
but Hasbro was nervous of calling a black man White Ranger.
why?
Like they felt it wouldn't be good. I don't, that's, this is all alleged. Like nothing's been proven. But somebody who worked, I guess, on the show is the one that put it out there. And
Hmm.
people are talking about this. And I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because, we were talking about Ninja Steel earlier.
Hmm.
And in Ninja Steel, they have two female rangers. One's pink and the other one's white with like pink accent. But the white ranger there, that female, she's black. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. Like,
I don't think that's a thing.
yeah, like it's very interesting. Like, but it's also like, well, why couldn't he just be the white? Because I was like, I get the White Rangers, because honestly, to me, that White Ranger suit looked way cooler.
It looked
Like,
cooler, but I think that's just not what they were going with, right? They wanted to look
yeah,
somewhat similar to everybody.
yeah, and so like I get that, but yeah, I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
No, like, why would that be an issue?
I don't think it was.
Yeah,
It's one of those things I think that people say and they want it to be a bigger deal than what it is.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't know. I have a feeling that wasn't an issue
yeah, and it's like,
because
what was it? They said, because in the past there's always been these kind of like rumors about like Ranger stuff, like um with like in Mystic Force that the Black Ranger from Operation Overdrive, Samuel Benta, and I literally mean black and black because he's black and he was a Black Ranger, auditioned for the role of the Red Ranger for Mystic Force, but they said no, they didn't want to do like it seemed too similar to Jack in S because we just had Jack in SPD.
uh-huh.
But then that came out, no, that wasn't a thing, and it's been contested on both ends. It said, well, no, this did happen, and then he said, no, it did.
Oh
Uh,
man, so you're telling me somewhere in the middle is the truth?
yeah.
Crazy.
So it's just, I don't know. I think it's interesting if that was a thing of like why.
I don't think it was a thing.
Yeah. And
Personally, I don't
especially
think it was
too,
a thing.
like and just also do it's like, man, that brother look like Steph Curry. Like he light skin, bro.
I don't think
Like,
that matters.
no, but what I'm saying though, it's not like you get like it's just funny because like his suit, that champagne color suit, I'm like, you just gave him his own skin tone suit.
Yeah, honestly, it looked
But
cool.
it's yeah, no, but it's just like I don't know. I just thought that was
Hey, like that suit is the dress up toys you would get now at Target.
yeah.
Like that suit, right?
Well, it's also just like that's the only plus that's also one of the only things put out there for this.
Oh yeah, but like think about that. It's one of the only things, and it's that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like somebody was getting that suit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because these toy things, they think of those way ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way they're putting out Rangers now, they probably thought of that way ahead. That's not just like a quick the moment thing, because sadly, Power Rangers ain't on their mind right now like crazy.
No.
You know what I mean, dog? Like, I think those Omega Rangers sold out, but who knows? Who knows what's next? I know we have New York Comic Con here is like this weekend, right?
Oh, is it?
I think it's this weekend.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend, and I have a suspicion that there won't be much much for Rangers. I
Probably
just
not.
I just have a feeling um that they probably won't be, you know?
Oh,
And
it
that's
starts
it.
tomorrow,
Yeah, okay, yeah. I assumed I had a feeling because I've been
the
reading some
12th through the
stuff.
15th.
Yeah, I've been reading some stuff about like it coming soon, and that makes a ton of sense to me, man. I don't know. I hope they'd be cool to hear something, but I don't want to like, I don't think it's like for sure.
Yeah, just like, hey, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
I think
man.
if they just came out and said, hey, we're working on it. Like
I
just
or hey, we're not.
either way, just
That'd
give
be
us something.
nice. Just tell
Or
me
just
what's going
just
on.
be like, hey, we're working on it. This is when we hope to put it out there.
Like
So
there's no even like 6-inch figures for Cosmic.
what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they
Right? There's
doing?
none, right?
No,
Yeah.
that blows my mind.
I still need to get that purple dragon Thunder Zord, Megazord. One of these days, dog. I think that thing's sick.
Yeah.
That's a sick one.
Dude, I thought too, like honestly, when that Zord pops up, I was like, because if you see like, because obviously they're using footage from this other Sentai season.
Hmm.
The suit that Ranger wears, oh dude, it's so dope.
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's so sick.
Hmm.
So just that alone, like when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this totally would have been like a Tommy thing. I think some people were even thinking Billy because I remember back, and this is the thing, like I remember hearing people saying, "Ooh, Billy should come back for. They should bring him back for Dino Fury." Like, you
Hmm.
know, and they're saying, "Oh, is he going to be blue?" But then other people put him in like a purplish type suit. So,
I like that he stayed Mighty Morphin.
oh yeah, no, it's dope.
And he was on par with them, which is interesting.
Yeah, I always thought was interesting. Every time when he morphed with them, and they'd all say like the Cosmic Fury ring, all that. Like he kept saying it too.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, all right, dude. Like, oh, you switching teams now, Billy?
Right. But it did make for interesting, like that he was on par with them, because then
Yeah,
that tells me, okay, we would just want to go based off what you've shown us. Based off what you've shown us.
yeah.
Uh That means the Zeo team would kick this team's butt, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I think Zeo team
My
could win.
love for Zeo is showing.
But I feel like they would beat everybody. And especially with Lord Zed. Yeah, I just texted you a picture of that Purple Ranger suit. Super sick.
It's cool. He looked like Edge with some Power Ranger stuff. This Edge is a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Adam Copeland is a Power Ranger. You think you know me? Yeah, that's what it looked like. Adam
Rated R for
Copeland.
Rangers.
Hey man, at least it's rated R. He is
Ugh.
rated R. He's still rated R.
And good for
But
him.
no, this was a good one. I'm excited for the next episode
Yeah.
to talk about 5 and 6.
Plus, I do like about this too. I really appreciate their opening sequence
Yeah.
because it changes. It
Yes.
changes
Yes.
because so many times I've always said, "Man, Rangers be giving stuff away in the openings." Like Time Force when that started. Oh, it shows this guy Wes like morphing. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
same actor. Oh, but he just got killed. Oh, there's met this guy. Okay, he's the Red Ranger. Okay, that
Yeah.
they give stuff away.
I know.
This was cool because it's like it changes every time.
It's so weird that like 20 years later they would get it right.
Yeah, like oh hey, there's only four of us. There's only legit four Rangers right now, so that's all they're showing right there. And as you know, it grows each time. More join the team,
I would
which I
just want Billy to sing "It's Just Me," Oos. That's it. Sing it, Billy. It's just me, Oos. How sick would that be? That'd be tight. He's like, it's just me, Oos.
ugh,
You know what I mean? You're like, excuse me? Yeah, man, it's just me, Oos.
you see
Like,
me? You
do you
see
see
me?
him, sir?
Yes, I know what you are saying.
Know what I am saying? Know
Yes,
what I am saying?
yes, I know what you are saying. You don't have to keep asking that.
Why, hello.
And
Uh,
that's the end of the episode with the
oh man, he's just trying to join, man.
nah. He a putty, and that's it.
Hey, these putties are kind of sick.
I
Yeah,
do like the Sentinels. I do like them.
yeah, they're pretty cool. I
I
think they're
like
cool.
I like that they talk.
Hmm.
Like I like that they talk, which is weird because it's like, so wait, are they just like factory made type things, or are these actual people? Or are they like sentient once they're made? It's kind of cool. Plus their helmets look like a Ranger Z helmet type, you know.
Yes, I kind of wish they were like people though, because then they'd just be like a Foot Clan.
Well, that do you remember In Space did that at first with the Quantrons. Like every now and then they talk.
Oh yes, yes, yes,
So it's kind of one of those like but then I noticed in this up like in these episodes, you have some of these Sentinels like talking.
yes, yes.
Like legit, like, oh gosh, here we go. Like, complaining and stuff. So I'm like, are they human? Are they machine? What are these things?
You just walk over. Hey, yeah. What are you?
What are the Sentinels?
Yeah, especially later, like when I don't know. I don't have gripe with it, but it's like I always, oh man, you don't have powers before you had your morphers, you could kick their butt without being morphed. Now, you don't have your morpher on you. Suddenly, you can't beat them up.
You
Okay,
can't fight. No.
okay, my bad, dude. Shit, logic. Uh, not the rapper. Um, you know what I mean? I try to put that into it, but yeah, man, this is a fun episode. Can't wait to talk about episodes 5 and 6. And then we got to discuss here soon, though. What are we going to do after we're done talking about Cosmic Fury? What are we going to do? We've been talking a ton about getting fans on here
Yeah.
and chatting
Like,
with you guys all about like your fandoms and how you got into Rangers. And also, like, I've even thought about putting out a post out there like, What else? What does everyone collect? Like, what are you into?
Wow.
Are you just into Rangers? Are you into other stuff too? Like, are you into Pokemon? You into anime? Like specific animes? Like, what are you into? Do you like movies? Like, is that your thing? I was watching Get Out a little bit ago. Marcus was on the screen checking on me, and the movie was weird.
Why? Because on TS, Mighty Morphin A.
You want to let him out?
I will. It's your boys. It's Richard. It's Marcus. We Rangers of the Grid. And we got it like that because we TS Mighty Morphin A grocery bag.